Hello, and welcome to Virtual Investor Conferences. My name is Cecilia, and on behalf of OTC Markets, we're very pleased you have joined us for our next live presentation from Trillion Energy International. Before I introduce our speaker, a few points to note. Please submit your questions in the question box to the left of the slides. If you're interested in scheduling a meeting with Trillion Energy International, please click on the Meetings tab found on the left navigation bar. You will be able to view the company's availability and submit a meeting request. On a final note, all of today's presentations will be recorded and available for 24/7 replay. At this point, I'm very pleased to welcome Scott Lower, VP of Business Development of Trillion Energy International, which trades on the OTCQB venture market under the symbol TRLEF and on the CSE under the symbol TCF. Welcome, Scott.
Thank you very much. We appreciate you inviting us to this presentation today. All right, everybody. Well, thanks for being here. We hope that you have a copy of our investor presentation. We've got it up on the screen now, and I'm going to walk you through it. On the first page here, you'll see a picture of one of our 4 offshore production platforms in the Black Sea. It's located in about 100 meters water depth and 14 kilometers offshore. This facility has 6 wells attached to it, of which 1 is currently producing and 2 will be put on production in about 2 weeks. So a bit about our company. We have a 49% interest in this Black Sea gas field, and we're targeting 100 BCF of natural gas worth over $1 billion to produce. We have a 383 million shares out, and Canadian, we have a market capitalization of about $142 million. We're a very liquid stock. We trade on 5 different exchanges. We trade on the CSE, the Frankfurt, and of course the OTC down in the US. One of the most important and attractive features of our company is we sell in one of the highest gas price environments in the world, and that is Turkey. Currently, gas prices are in the $17 US range per MCF, and that compares very favorably to US pricing, which is in and around $2 to $3 range historically. So there is an ability for us to make a lot of money because of the high gas price environment in the Turkish area. So as everybody knows, there's an energy crisis in Europe at this time. We all know the history of that. And this problem is not going away anytime soon. Europe is desperate for new sources of energy, and the Black Sea is one of the bright spots in solving these. An overview on Turkey. Turkey is the 7th largest gas producing or gas consuming country in the world. But it only produces 3 to 5% of its own domestic consumption. And so therefore it imports over 90% of the energy that it uses. And so there's a tremendous opportunity if you can bring gas on in Turkey to sell it in country. You can sell an unlimited amount of gas into the local markets. Now, the Black Sea is a prolific area for gas production and generation. There's a number of fields that are now coming online, not only in Turkey, but in other countries. There is the Midias gas field that came online this year, owned by Carlyle Group, a New York Stock Exchange company. The Secura gas field, which Turkey, the government claims is worth over $1 trillion in reserves. And we have our field in the most southern part of the Black Sea that we're putting on production, and that production started last year. And we're going to be drilling wells for the next 2 years on this field. So we're ramping up production immensely in the Black Sea, which is going to, in the future, supply a significant amount of the energy to Europe. Currently, our reserves are 37 BCF. We have a new reserve report coming out in the next few weeks, so please stay tuned for that. This will be based on new drillings and the conversion of prospects into reserves, and we expect some very significant increases going forward. As it is, our reserves are worth over $400 million US, which compares very favorably to our market capitalization, which is under $100 million US at this time. We are engaged in a full field development of this field. And for any of you who are looking at the presentation here, you'll see on the screen a number of gas fields connected by pipeline and 4 platforms. And what the platforms do is allow wells to be drilled and worked over as they need to be over the 10 to 12 year life of the well. Now, this was an old field that we picked up 4 years ago. What has allowed us to produce gas at a very low cost is improvements in technology. We're using long reach directional drilling, which allows us to reach 3 kilometers from the platforms to connect into gas pools that we've never been able to drill before because they're too far away from the platforms. And so it's very much a technology play, like in the same way that fracking revolutionized U.S. shale, long reach drilling is revolutionizing offshore drilling when you have stationary platforms and the gas is 2, 3, 4, 5 kilometers away from the platform. This here is a seismic image of all of the producing gas fields that have been discovered, as well as potential new gas fields. And the red in the image shows a very significant amount of gas still remaining on the field. And the circled areas there are fields that we are currently in the process of exploring for gas through seismic reinterpretation and processing, and that'll be done later on this year. This is the same slide. It's just shows a different stratigraphic section of the block, including a channel sand that we intend to test this year for gas. This slide here, it shows our directional drilling from the first platform that I showed you on the first slide, and the red lines show the direction of the well bore from the platform into the gas pools that are proximate to the platform. There's 3 of them here showing. We've now drilled all 3 of these gas pools successfully since September of last year to current. We put out a news release last week about the discovery of the West Akachocha gas and the 55 meters of pay that was encountered. In October of last year, we made the discovery in South Akachocha, and that's the bottom structure. And in the northeastern structure you see on the slide, that is Segula 2 well, which was drilled in January of this year. So these are 3 new discoveries made, and all of those discoveries will be reflected in the reserve report, reserves coming up soon. There also, one of those is in production now. The other 2 will be in production by the end of this month. And by the time those go in production, the total field production will have doubled from this month to next month going forward. And in that way, we're truly ramping up the production in this high-priced gas environment. This is now a 3-dimensional view of the Akachocha platform, and you'll see just how long these wells reach out from the platform into the gas fields. The black lines are the gas fields drilled historically 10 years ago, where they didn't have the ability to reach out using the existing technology. And our new wells are reaching out 2 to 3 times further than we've ever been able to do before. Now, in addition to the existing gas fields proximate to our platforms, there is tremendous potential for new discoveries off our existing production block. And in this slide, around the orange colored lines, there is 3D seismic and 2D seismic, all which has been shot over the last 20 years. And we will be looking at reinterpreting this seismic to find larger structures off block and then to obtain new blocks to expand our footprint in this area of the Black Sea. If we do make a discovery off block, we will be able to pipe that discovery into one of our existing platforms through a subsea pipeline, which then goes into our gas plant that's already on shore and into the pipeline, and that'll save a lot of money. We intend to make applications for these additional blocks sometime later this year. And again, the discoveries that have been made in the region to the north of these blocks through TPO, the Sakura gas field, and the Carlyle Group gas field, Midas, are very, very significant discoveries. There are hundreds of BCF and sometimes into the TCF range of gas. So we'll be looking for very large gas fields in the near future, and hoping to make some big discoveries. What this slide shows is, you'll see right in the beginning where it says 2023, and the small blue bars, that is where we are now in terms of production and cash flow. We're just starting the story in terms of getting production online and ramping up our revenue. In 2, 3, 4 years, because we intend to drill many, many wells and to keep the rig going for a lengthy period of time. Currently, we plan to drill up to 20 wells. We expect that our cash flow will increase very, very significantly. And we've currently have a gas price of $17. And for the purposes of this projection, we've assumed a $15 gas price from 2023 to 2026. However, gas prices will vary and are market dependent. Historically, Turkey has, however, been a very, very high gas price jurisdiction in Europe. So this is our corporate summary, and let me summarize the company in a nutshell here. We're working on a 21-well drilling program that'll roll out over the next 3 years, and we've completed the first 4 wells successfully so far, making 3 new discoveries and re-entering an existing well, and putting that well back in production. Our revenue will increase every single well we drill, with every discovery made, and with every reserve put online. And our target is to put 2 wells on per quarter this year, and so we should end this year with 10 to 11 producing wells, and even more in 2014. And every single one of those wells will ensure significant revenue increases to the company. We are additionally helping to reduce the dependency on Russian gas, which historically Europe has been very dependent on. The region desperately needs gas. It's not like the United States or Canada or the Americas, where they have more gas than they know what to do with. Gas is in critical short supply in Europe. And so we're bringing on this production at a very important time in history, when Europe really needs the gas most. Also, I've said this before, but we are in the probably one of the highest gas price jurisdictions in the world, with $17 an MCF US, which is far, far higher than domestic gas prices. In terms of the fiscal regimes, we pay a low royalty of 12.5%. It's probably the best royalty compared to any other European country. And we have a reasonable corporate tax rate of around 22%. So with all that together, we expect to make a significant amount of money over the next 2 years as we roll out our drilling program and put new gas into production. Our management team here, our company is led by Arthur Halloran. He's the CEO and director. He has been involved in dozens of other plays in different countries. He's worked from anywhere between Raleigh Energy, Chevron, Petro-Canada, some of the billion-dollar companies of the world. He is responsible for the leadership that has put this gas project on the map and back in production to realize the value for shareholders. All right, people, that concludes my presentation, and we'll be taking questions. Any questions that anybody has here, we'd love to hear from you. And anybody who would like, anybody can write us on our website as well. We have a box that you can write in, and our new presentation will be updated on a regular basis on our website. As well, you can subscribe for weekly drilling reports as we're drilling these wells. We have thousands of subscribers who actually subscribed, and they get the same drilling reports that management does. So thank you again very much. Okay, we have some questions here, folks. Question: are deals being negotiated? Is Trillion actively looking for opportunities like assets from distressed companies, or maybe majors wanting to sell for ESG regions? That's a good question. So far, we have our geo department looking at some opportunities in the region, and we have done some due diligence, but we're very picky in terms of what we have done and what we will do, and we haven't concluded anything seriously. So we have no pending acquisitions. It is quite a tremendous amount of work bringing this field on, and also to expand out to the other blocks, and that is the first priority. The next question I see here, approximate date for getting the off-block license. The license will require currently what we're doing is we're reprocessing seismic information, and we're putting the full geological package together for the license bidding to the government. So we're hoping that'll be granted late this year, early next year. Next question: when do you expect a quarterly report to be released? We expect our first quarter to be released. Well, first of all, our audit will be released during May of this year. Also, our first quarter for January to March 31st of this year, those 3 months will be released also in May of this year. So that'll be another 45 days. But in our news release, we do regularly report the revenue that is coming in from gas sales, and we expect to do that on a monthly basis. Next question: are you able to sell your gas to the EU? The answer is yes, we can, but no, we don't want to, because we get much higher prices in Turkey, and they need the gas there. Next question: any deals? Let's see.
There's one about the debt. We can speak to that.
Does Trillion have any debt? Currently, there's about 1.4 million US in debt, which is quite minimal for a project this size. What are the lifespan of the wells? The wells are approximately 10 to 14 years. The life of the wells are extended because during the life of the wells, there's new completions that happen every 2 to 3 years, and workovers occur. So these wells will last for 10 years. However, most of the production will occur in the first 3 years, probably over 50% of the gas production. Question: you said you were having the team look at the Bulgaria asset. What is the status? Currently, the Bulgarian asset, the license for Bulgaria has not been fully approved to commit to commence the exploration. Management is, because they have a frack ban in Bulgaria, and that's not our focus right now, the license has been on hold for some time. In contrast, we're very active in Turkey, and Turkey is our primary focus, ramping up production on our Turkish SASB gas field. Now, I think I've answered all the questions that have come in here, folks. I would encourage anybody to ask any more questions they may have, but other than that, thank you very, very much for your attendance today in this seminar. We hope you've learned a lot about the company, and I guess we will continue on until we've made sure everybody has had an opportunity to put in their questions and receive a response.